Hey everyone, Phil here from The Jaded Filmmaker. In this video, I'm going to directly compare two very similar setups. So right now I'm looking at the A7 IV with the Sony 35mm 1.8 on this camera. And on this one is also a Sony A7 IV, but I'm on a 24mm 1.4 and I'm cropped in. So the field of view, we'll say, should be very similar. Should be around about 36mm. And at 1.4, which it is now at 1.4, should be roughly around f2, f2.1 or something like that. So the field of view should be very similar and the background blur should also be very similar. Now, I'll talk to this camera for a little while. So I was filming on this exact setup here for a wedding because I found myself with two A7 IVs. I was without an A7S III. And to do 50p or 60p, it only works in 4K if you're cropped in. That's the XAVC HS setting, which it's on now. And I actually found it okay. I didn't want to film with a zoom lens, like a 24-70, because in my opinion, I think you lose a bit of magic at 2.8 and onwards. Very easy for me, would make life better for me, but the wedding, which I normally do weddings isn't about me, it's about the bride, and it's always magic on these primes. So during the filming, I've done about 3 weddings now with this setup on a gimbal. 24mm I found if you go slow enough, you don't have to slow it down in post. Like a wide shot, establishing shot, go nice and slow. You don't have to really slow that down. But 35mm, like a walking shot with someone solo or a couple, you can really make that grand, obviously, and slow it down at least twice, half speed in post. You know, make shots grand. I found that was working really well. I had that versatility, 24 for your nice wide shots, and then I'd film a lot of the action in the field of view equivalent of 36mm, or just say 35 roughly. And I thought that was going well, but I looked on the computer and the groom had a bit of a ratty face in the shots, but not in real life. And that's what can happen if you film on a wide angle lens, and if you get too close, it can look like a bit ratty. And he had more of a boxy face, normal shaped face. On the computer, I'm like, I wonder if that's because it's 24mm, because obviously the focal length of the lens doesn't change. It's still a 24mm lens, we're just cropping in on it. So my question is, side by side, if I look at the 35mm now, the proportions of my face is what I'm now gonna be looking at. Does it get ratty, a mousy face? And on the 24mm cropped in, am I noticing any extra? Because essentially, practically, that's what it comes down to. We've got the same field of view, but is that focal length gonna make the shot look any better or any worse? Let's try with and without glasses and all that kind of thing. Is the face ratty? I think this is a great test because this is what it comes down to. How does it perform? Now, in terms of settings, the camera on the right with the 24mm, I need my glasses again, is on a 1.4, ISO 125. I'm on 4K, 420 10-bit on that one, that's the 50p. Now, there's no ND filters on this, so I'm cranking the shutter. It's on 1:2000. I didn't want anything in front of the lens. And on this side, the 35mm, it's 4K 25p, and it's 422 10-bit, because the codecs are slightly varied from each format, which is a bit confusing. You can get confused easily. We're on a sunny white balance on both, and this one's similar. It's 1:2000 shutter speed, f1.8, maxing out the aperture there, and ISO 125 as well. So isn't this riveting? I'm not even gonna do a bookend post-analysis. I'm actually just gonna leave it up side by side and let you decide as well, and myself. I'll just leave it up and let me know in the comments if you can see any difference. The background blur should be the same, really, but it's more how is it handling facial features and things like that, because the field of view should be very similar. All right, well, thanks for watching. The reason why I wanted to do this very simple test is because I'm getting rid of one of my A7 IVs soon. I have the new A7 R5. Why didn't I get my A7S III back? Well, I'd like to keep 2 cameras, no more than that. And I want to do more photography. I'll look into this one. And I think at the moment, not just because it's the newest, well, that plays a big part, but I think the A7 R5 will tick a lot of the boxes that I need for both photo and video. And mainly because I'm also getting old. It's got this beautiful 9 million dot viewfinder again, which is basically 1080 when you divide it by 3 and all the dots. It's a HD viewfinder. Anyway, if you've watched this long, thank you very much. I'm gonna leave the video up as is. I won't even edit it. This is how we roll. All right, thanks for watching. See you on the next video. All right, bye.